All right guys, what's going on? So today we are doing an unboxing on this, the DJI Mavic 3 Classic. Let's go ahead and get into this right now. Don't want to waste your time. I'm gonna try to do this as quickly as possible because I think the last couple of unboxings I did were a little longer than I wanted, but I literally just went and picked this up a little while ago from Best Buy. All right, so we get some extra props in the bottom. You guys can't really see that up top there. I will say this so far. Just trying to see if I can. Doesn't look like there's anything else in the box, so I think that should be it. Comparing this to the Mavic 2 Pro, it already, like, even just inside of this bag, like me not even seeing it, looks bigger than the Mavic 2 Pro. And you get the little goofy gimbal guard on there. All right, we're gonna set that aside for a second. There's the Mavic. I wanna see what's inside of this box, which is probably the controller, of course. Some informational guides. So it looks like DJI really slimmed down on packaging, because the original Mavic 2 Pro, when I purchased that, came in like a bigger box, and it definitely seemed, that's your chargers. All right, so USB-C also has a port on the brick for another cord, which I'm assuming you can also charge your remote controller with. You also get another USB-C, so yes. Now I'm wondering if they give you extras. They do. All right. Whew. So this is like, look at that. That is sexy. All right, so coming from somebody that's coming from a Mavic 2 Pro, I bought this one over just the regular RC because I'm gonna be honest with you, sometimes it really sucks having to like use your phone. Like, and nothing against, you know, Apple and stuff, but like sometimes their screens aren't the brightest. I'm excited to see how bright this screen is because it is pretty sexy. I think this was 17, like 99 or 17, like 16.99, maybe 17.50. I don't remember. I'll have to look at the thing, but anyways, or yeah. 17, yeah, I think it was like 17.50. So anyways, on the bottom here, we have a little port where you can insert a micro SD card, if I can open this. And there's also, I'm assuming, the spot where you plug in a micro or a USB-C to not only charge on the bottom, but then also underneath this little flap, there's another spot for a USB-C right here. I'm assuming that's probably how you do your like firmware upgrades and stuff. There are also two buttons on the back. You have your video and your photo, the gimbal, and I'm sure something else. Power button, cine, normal, sport, hover, return to home, pause and place. There are a few things on the bottom here. So on the back, there's two very small, like, screw-ins, and same at the bottom. There's two little screw-ins right here. I'm assuming that you could probably, like, have you ever seen Original Delbo? He has, like, a lanyard holder thing that goes on for that. So that's that. A couple extra props, a couple extra little doodads for your remote controller. Set that stuff to the side. I'll look through this later. I'm not gonna bore you guys with going through that. All right. Now to the meat and potatoes. It's what we all came here to see. All right. Whoosh. Man, I really, oh man. So my first initial impressions on this, number one, is it feels actually more of a quality build than the Mavic 2 Pro. I'm actually gonna slide out here and grab the 2 Pro here in a second, and we're gonna put these side by side on the overhead cam. The legs obviously are thinner, so they basically use the Mavic 3 like regular body for this, and then just basically took the zoom lens off of here. One thing I will say, I was pretty interested in the zoom lens, but the only problem is I heard a lot of people saying the same thing. It's like the quality on it wasn't really that great, and you couldn't control any of the like aperture and stuff on it. So that I think maybe was one of those things where it maybe kind of turned me off a little bit about it, and so probably why I wound up just going with the classic. That sits in there nicely. Let's see, there's a little thing. So you also have a, I don't know if you guys can see it, there is a USB-C and then your micro SD port on the back here. So I think you have to take the battery out, because I tried to just, yeah, you can do it with that. I first originally was trying to just pop it out with that out here, but, and then as far as the camera goes, so the only thing I will say about this is the 4/3 inch sensor obviously is bigger than the 1 inch sensor. But I really wish that DJI would include like even just like a cheap set of ND filters, or like an ND filter, like even if it was like an ND8. So this way you could start catching some pretty cinematic footage from your drone as soon as you unbox it and charge it. If I get these dang stickers off Napoleon. All right, let's try it this way. So I will say, as far as the gimbal goes, it seems pretty similar. There are two like beefy side like arms to the camera and the gimbal itself. It seems more well built than the Mavic 2 Pro. I'm not even gonna mess with that. I'm gonna grab the 2 Pro and we're going to put these side by side. All right. All right. So let me clear this folding table off. Put this stuff in here. Move this guy. All right. Now for the moment of truth. So I was pretty stoked when I first bought this Mavic 2 Pro in April of 2020. Now, I will say that even just by looking at it, the Mavic 2 Pro is far smaller in comparison. So like, there's the Mavic 3, right? You guys can see that up there. And then there's the Mavic 2 on top of it. So the Mavic 2 is very small in comparison, which if you're trying to save space in a camera bag or something, it might not be a very good thing. You know, if you buy the Mavic 3 and you're hoping for it to be as small as the 2, then probably not. Shit. So now as far as weight goes, the Mavic 2 feels actually heavier. It feels like they slimmed down the Mavic 3 somehow, but if you can see, just like the body maybe is about the same size, but it's definitely larger than the 2. So, and that's, I mean, so, all right, the whole drone, or the whole of the Mavic 2 Pro is obviously a tad bit longer than the 3. And I'm like trying to tip this thing. So just slightly. But the arms are bigger on the 3. They're longer, I should say. They have bigger propellers. So the thing keeps sliding. I'm just gonna throw that on the table. I don't even care. All right, so the whole drone, like the actual hull of the 3, is slightly smaller than the 2, maybe weighs a little less, but the arms are bigger or longer, and the gimbal, at the base of the gimbal, it's kind of hard to see that maybe on the GoPro. I'm also using a GoPro for this because none of my other cameras were ready to, like, they didn't have any batteries in them. I don't know, you guys can't really see that. So, but take my word for this, the 3 definitely has a beefier camera, like in general. I mean, besides it being a 4/3 sensor. Get this off there because it's gonna drive me nuts. So yeah, that's my first initial impressions on this. It's pretty sexy. Wish it were just a tiny bit smaller. I mean, I guess here we'll compact these two. So. There's the 3, if you guys can see that. And then the 2. Now, I'm gonna try and do like a side-by-side comparison of these. As far as I know, the only real difference between the 2 and the 3 is obviously a little bit newer technology inside, newer design. But in the long run, like, yeah, see, it's still like, it still seems that the Mavic 2 is slightly smaller compact. Like, I mean, the drone itself is longer, but it's still smaller in size. So I'm gonna try and do a comparison between these two. Only thing that I can really tell the only difference is 5.7K, and then, I mean, it's still 20 megapixels, if I remember correctly, and a little bit newer technology. That's pretty much it. So, I mean, that's really the only difference between the 2 and the 3. I mean, these are like, obviously the newer one, and so like they're the 2 Pro and then the 3 Pro, if you wanted to consider it that. The other one is like the 3 Professional Advanced or something. With the telephoto lens, I would consider that, because, I mean, if you're looking at these apples to apples, 1-inch sensor, 4/3 sensor, so probably a better low light scenario or a better low light situation on this guy. And then maybe sharper image quality overall. We'll do side-by-side comparisons and take photos between the two. We'll compare those, same with video, and we'll go from there. Hopefully you guys like this video. I was trying to make it not too long, but we're already at like 15 minutes or something. So if you guys like this video, thumbs up. If you didn't like it, also give it a thumbs up. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit all the buttons. I'm Jordan, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.